All right, welcome everyone to the Building Efficiency Podcast. Today we're sitting down with Ruthie Reid, who is the Human Resources Director for Harshaw Trane. Ruthie, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. And when we got introduced, I couldn't think of a better guest to come on the show that really fits both criteria of what we do as a search firm. I know you're dialed in to talent acquisition and obviously the human resources function of what you guys do. And then you're obviously steeped in the energy efficiency, building efficiency industry. So you're the first guest that's coming on that really fits both the criteria of what we do here at Nenni. So I really appreciate your time, and I'm glad we were able to make this work.
Thanks. I feel honored, and I got to say I'm so glad that I'm associated with Nenni. It was 15 years ago that I started the partnership with you guys, with Michael, Nenni, and Corey Kravitz. Michael had a relationship with Harshaw Trane, and so you guys have been great partners finding talent for us and also helping me learn more about the energy industry.
No, that's excellent. Yeah, no, likewise, we're grateful for the partnership as well. So Ruthie, for our listeners out there who don't know who you are, can you just tell us a little bit about your background and then how you landed here in the industry?
Sure. So my name is Ruthie Reid, and I'm currently the HR director here, but I started in HR 25 years ago, actually by chance. I'm a native of Louisville, Kentucky. I was working on my MBA, and a couple of my professors suggested that I apply for an internship at Yum Industries, which was previously Kentucky Fried Chicken. And so I applied for an internship in compensation. I loved it, and shortly after I graduated from the master's program, they offered me a position in comp. So I stayed at KFC for a couple years in a very technical area with compensation, and then moved over to their benefits division and handled the domestic and international businesses for KFC. Loved it. Loved the organization. It was my first job out of school. Learned a lot. I thought I would retire from KFC, honestly. I spent about 5 years there, and then my husband was transferred to Nashville, Tennessee. And I know you've lived in Nashville, but one thing I didn't tell you, Jim.
Great city.
Yes, but at the time, I did not want to move to Nashville. I was a hometown girl. I did not like country music, and I did not want to go south. So I remember vividly, it was pouring down rain. I'm following my husband in a car, and we're crossing the state line, and he went to Vandy, and so he loved Nashville. He's honking his horn, and I'm really crying hysterically in my car about going to Nashville. But it was the best experience and opportunity that I could have had. I started working for a small tech firm in Nashville, very LA-like, entrepreneurial. So that was a big change for me from working as in a technical area such as comp and benefits. And then I got the opportunity at a very young age to work at Rand McNally. It was one of the largest printing facilities in the country. I had about 800 employees. We ran 24/7. So it was honestly just a great HR generalist experience. Had a lot of great mentors, and I loved it. So fast forward 8 years, my husband gets transferred back to Louisville. So we're going back up north on 65, and This time I'm crying again just because I had such a great opportunity. But I fell, I really fell into energy. I didn't know anything about the energy industry, but I saw a posting for Harshaw Trane, and I thought this is a great way to see another industry and also to build something. And that's really what we've done over the last 15 years. And I've been blessed with an incredible, talented team of business professionals here who have helped me grow.
Oh, that's excellent. As you were talking about Louisville and kind of your roots there, I couldn't help but look through some of my cabinets this morning in the kitchen. My wife's family has connections. Her family's from Louisville, so we got Louisville stoneware all over the place. So I'm sure you'd appreciate that. But
and this is Derby week too.
It's a little bit different this year, isn't it?
Yes,
it's not quite the same.
not quite the same. I think this is the second time in history that the Derby has run without spectators. So very different for us.
Weird times indeed. All right, so you brought us up to present day. You're at Harshaw. Tell us a little bit about, I think most people in the industry are going to know who Harshaw Trane is, but just tell us a little bit about the company and then how you guys are going to market today and what you're up to.
Sure. So Harshaw Trane is an energy services company. We're an ESCO. We work with commercial clients to help them save energy, reduce their costs, provide comfort, and create sustainable environments. So we're much more than just an HVAC company. We're a franchise. We operate in Kentucky and Southern Indiana. So when you think about it, we are working with clients to help them find energy savings that funds capital to modernize their equipment or to pour that back into their core mission. So we could be working with a hospital, helping save lives, helping create a better learning environments for students in a classroom, working with a large shipping company, make sure that their equipment is running correctly so that they can ship product all over the globe. Or we work with companies to make the best bourbon around. So we really impact a lot of businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to tie back to what I mentioned at the beginning of the show, your background in energy and in talent acquisition. So as you look at kind of the building efficiency and energy services landscape and you project forward, take out your crystal ball, look into the future, where do you see the industry heading? You could touch on it from an industry standpoint, but I'd also be curious to hear your take from like a talent acquisition standpoint too.
Sure. Now, I'm not an expert on where the future of the industry is, but I can tell you from.
You don't have it all figured out?
Yeah,
I thought you'd have the future figured out by now.
But from talking to my business partners, I think the industry is going toward more of an outcome-based service. Comfort as a service versus just performing tasks, right? And so I think that leads us to how can we be more efficient, which goes back to being more connected. We're all about getting the buildings connected, because that allows us not only to extract the data from our clients and help with the analytics and help them make the best decisions, but that also helps us leverage our technician population. I have about 100 technicians. They are very hard to find. As you know, for every 7 techs that retire, 3 might enter the industry. So that's very difficult. So by performing remote services, that allows us to better utilize our technicians and to pass on the cost savings to the clients. The other thing I would say, looking at the industry from a talent perspective, is the fact that it's really important to anticipate where the market is going and to align your talent development efforts in that, along with that. 10 years ago, we didn't have a lighting division, but we saw a need in the market.
Sure.
So we went out and we recruited lighting experts and we started training our own. We're now into wastewater treatment. We're doing solar. We're doing combined heat power. So I think anticipating where the market is going is important from a talent development perspective. And then as you think about COVID, I think just being flexible is so critical today because, COVID hit us, like very suddenly, right? And so and so you have to be able to move your talent as the market moves or as the economy changes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think COVID has forced all of us to adjust to our different business models and kind of be prepared because this won't be the last time something like this happens, right? There's a lot of lessons learned that we all can take from this. So thank you for sharing that. I think that's super insightful. So I wanted to transition to the last part of the show here, where these are the same 4 questions that I ask every guest who comes on the podcast. And Ruthie, I'd be curious, what are your daily non-negotiables?
You really got me thinking about that. Well, the first is coffee. I can't, I must have it every day. So that's a non-negotiable for me. The other thing is I'm a planner. just just by nature. So if you could see the bottom of my desk, I have yellow stickies all over the place. I'm a visual person. It just helps me know what's in front of me and what's most important for me. So I try to prioritize my day because time is very precious, right?
Indeed.
And then the third thing is I've learned as I've gotten older to stop and breathe and to take some time out just to be with the important people in my life, try to have dinner every night with my husband when possible and when he's not traveling. And, I text my kids. I have one son, Christian, who's a senior at UK, back at school in classes. So, talk to him about how that situation's going. My other son, Cameron, just started a new job. So just taking time out for the family.
And let's rewind the clock to your 22-year-old self. You're graduating from, is it University of Louisville?
Correct.
Okay. What
Go
advice
Cards.
would you go Cards? What advice would you give to your 22-year-old self?
Well, as I look back, I feel very blessed professionally and personally. I think some of the advice, has worked out well for me. One would be to find mentors in your life. When I look back and I think about those professors who urged me to take, to try for that internship at KFC, or, my mentors at Rand McNally or Kentucky Fried Chicken, I think they've made a huge impact in my life. So, I would say find a mentor that can help you grow and then be a mentor. One of the other things I might say to my 22-year-old HR self is no matter what business you go into, learn the business of your company. Understand how your company makes money. The best HR people that I've worked with, I think, were good business people first. And I think if you are a good business person, you can be a better HR professional. And I think it allows you to work at a more strategic level in the organization. And then the third piece of advice I would give to myself is to relax. I think when I first started out, I was very obsessed with my career, and that was really who I was. As I've matured and become more balanced, I think it's to don't forget the things in life that are important. So, relax and be in the moment and, put in perspective, the people in your life that are important.
That's great. That's great advice, especially on the HR side. I think that is something that, a lot of executives and individuals in a similar role can certainly benefit from that. So, I think that's excellent. And Ruthie, what motivates you? What gets you out of bed in the morning?
Winning. I like to win. Harshaw Trane, we like to win. We have a lot of programs that are focused on winning. I was very competitive at a young age. I played a lot of sports. And today I would say I don't need to win so much for myself, but I'd like to see other people win, whether it's an associate who is getting promoted and it's someone I hired or recruited, or maybe someone I helped coach, or an associate hit a milestone in the retirement plan. All those things are wins for me, and it makes me feel really good.
Well, I don't know if you listened to one of our previous episodes with Chuck McGinnis, but I loved his line. He mentioned something similar. He said, "I've thrown away all my second place trophies." So I think you have something in common with that winning thread there. So I think that's great. So last question here. What do you want your lasting legacy to be?
It's really kind of along the same line. I just want to know that I made a difference in someone's life. And when I think about that, I think about my family first, right? I think about my husband and my 2 kids, and knowing that we've raised kids who can be successful, who are kind, smart, considerate, self-assured, and are going to be successful in life. And, I take that same philosophy down to my friends and all the associates at Harshaw Trane, knowing that, hopefully I'll be remembered as helping someone create and have a great career here. So just making things better for people.
Oh, that's perfect. I think that's a perfect way to wrap up the show here. So, Ruthie, thanks for your time. Thanks for coming on the Building Efficiency Podcast.
Thanks so much, Jim. It was fun.
All right.